What's up, everyone? Doing a little break from my tournament practice. Man, it's been tough today, but it was pretty good the other day. And I kind of knew it was going to be good the other day. We kind of had this weird little front. We hadn't really had a front system come in. It was just this real crazy low pressure. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. This is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to come to figure out. I still don't even know if I have it figured out all the way. It's very hard to figure out. And this is what it is. It's basically telling yourself, I'm not that good, right? And hear me out on this. The reason I bring that up is this. So many times in fishing, we go out there and have these phenomenal days, right? And we think we're gonna blast them in the tournament, or we think we're gonna catch them the next day. Like, we get so excited to go out there the next day if you're not fishing the tournament, but mainly tournament fishing, right? Like, you think you figured it out, and then it all goes to nothing. And the problem is, like, you figured it out, you got all these bites, catching big ones, like everything makes sense, and you got to think to yourself, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to tell myself. I'm not that good. And the reason I'm not that good is it's a really good fishing day, like a really good fishing day. And it's so hard to figure out is if you've been out there practicing and you haven't really caught them that great, and then all of a sudden, you know, as time goes on, you kind of figure something out and you think you're figuring it out, and you are. Don't get me wrong, you're figuring some things out, but it's like you throw over there and catch one, you come over here and you move around, you're getting bit, like bad cast are getting bit, they follow it up. I mean, all those little things that happen throughout a day. Sometimes, and it's so hard, man, you got to sit back and go, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to enjoy today, but this is not reality. This is not how a normal day. It's so hard to figure that out. And the reason is because most of the time you change up what you're doing, right? Or you change your area or do something, you know, you're always changing in practice for tournaments and stuff. And so you kind of think to your head, oh man, I'm the one who figured it out. I changed, I stopped doing this, I moved to a different area. And a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, it's just the day. And then all of a sudden, reality sets back in, right? Like the next day, come tournament time, you get out there and it's not happening. And so this is what I'll tell y'all. Sometime throughout a day when you're really catching them, you just gotta stop, sit around, kind of look around going, okay, wait a minute. This might be one of those days. This might be one of those days. I'm gonna try to learn everything I can about today, right? Because you'll learn like maybe where the best place is to fish, right? Like say you're fishing down this big old stretch and you're getting bit everywhere, but maybe there's a key spot. Now I will say those key spots you find, those seem to always have fish even when everything goes bad. But for the most part, if everything is going good, man, it's so hard to figure that out. So I challenge y'all, like really step back every once in a while. Really kind of look at what you're doing, look at the day. Like I said, I knew it was gonna be a good day. Like they were freaking busting everywhere. Schooling, all kinds of stuff was going on. How about that? Little double. But I knew that front system was in, and I wasn't gonna sit there and rely too much on what had happened, because I went out there the next day and it was nothing. It was nothing like the day before. And even today, it took them hours before they even started kind of getting right. So this is pretty much today. It's okay. The part that's different is that they were going as soon as I got out there the other morning. And it's been about 2 hours. They finally started kind of showing themselves. And they did this for probably about an hour. But the other day, like I left them, like they did it for like 2 or 3 hours. They did it from the right up, who knows how long they did it. They stayed up like crazy. Like I could already tell there's a difference. Now, granted, I was still catching them, right? I still caught them pretty good. But I could already tell it was different. And as the day went on, you could see how when I made this video, it was sunny. That was the same day. Like, it changed. And it wasn't that good today. It was kind of tough on me. I mean, I really, really struggled. But that other day, I crushed on them, and that was the first day I'd been on the water in a long time. And so I kind of knew that like something was different. And over the years now, I've been able to try to discern that, you know, and really step back, like I said in this video, and figure that out. And like I said, even though I'm still catching them, you gotta sometimes look at that and go, all right, the day's better. I need to make sure and prepare for that. And so today, all through practice, I prepared for a day that probably won't be as good as the other day. You know, but that day, that day that I went out there, that I knew that system was rolling in, it was from the get-go, and it never stopped all day. So luckily on that part I knew, but there's certain days that they're not fronts, they're nothing. Like you really don't know. And to be honest, all these years, I've never been able to figure out. I've never been able to figure out even from one day to the next when nothing changes. I mean, 5-mile-an-hour winds, like it's been cloudy for 3 days straight, and you've been crushing them, and the fourth day comes along and nothing. So, I mean, it's just one of those deals that you have to realize. Like I said, a lot of the way is by the way they hit. And if you get a bunch of random ones, okay, that's how I know. Like if they're just crushing it and you're getting weird, cool things happen, right? Like you throw out there and before it even hits bottom, you got one on, or you catch one as you're reeling it in, or things like that, things that aren't normal. Those are usually telltale signs that it's one of those good days. And man, when it turns around, like I said, it's tough. There's an old philosophy I always go by. I want to say I created. I don't know if I created it, but I'm just going to go ahead and take credit for it. I've never heard anyone say this, but here's the deal. If you're catching them, right, and you're catching them pretty good, a lot of times, like say you're catching them on top water, and it's kind of sunny or cloudy outside, like a little bit of sun and clouds, right? And the next day is supposed to be like crazy cloudy. And you're just crushing them, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, man, wait till tomorrow. Like if it's good now, wait till tomorrow, right? Because they're gonna eat really good with all that cloud cover. Well, let me tell you something. If it's really good, I've never seen it get better. Like it only can go downhill, I swear to you. I've never seen a phenomenal day go out there the next day and get better if something changes. Like, so I just put that's like my one little secret. That's my one little thing I always tell people. I'm like, man, if it was really good today, it will not be better tomorrow. It might be the same, but it will never be better, even if you think the weather is going to make it better or things are supposed to happen that typically would make the fishing better. I'm just telling you, man, if you're catching them and it's dead sunny and you're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be cloudy tomorrow, they're going to crush it. I'm just telling you. It's the craziest thing in the world. Anyways, that's my little kind of tip for today. I'm gonna get back after it because I got a couple more hours to kill before I have to get off the water. It's kind of figuring some things out. I had some bites today that might help me out. Got to get back after it. See y'all.